Business Alliance. Welcome, Max.
Thank you, Dr. Julie.
I'm so excited to have you here today.
No, the pleasure is mine.
And I was not surprised, but was so excited that you formed a business alliance. And
Yes.
we want to hear all about what inspired you to do that, how you did it, and why you felt there was a need for a business alliance.
Okay, well, it all started. I served for a different nonprofit for 7 years prior to when I founded. I was a member, a board member, and then president. I felt the need to make changes that they didn't accept, so that's what really triggered me to make a all-inclusive, per se, nonprofit, so we could serve the entire community, not just certain areas or people.
And there's lots of need throughout our whole community.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And there's nothing more. You can't explain the feeling of knowing the faces, of knowing what you're doing. The gratitude in the kid's face. Knowing what the possibilities, the doors you open for them. There's no way to explain that feeling. Many times my younger brothers would ask me, why do you spend so much time, and I quote, wasting your time in these nonprofits? They're not paying you. You should be running your own, because we own a business. And all I can say is that you wouldn't understand until you
do it, you don't understand. And to me, what's exciting is what you're talking about with the Business Alliance is not something that typically happens connected to a business organization. So talk about that too.
So I think back when my father first began opening our business, he, with no experience, he had no resources. So that was that really triggered me to the Business Alliance. What we do here is we provide resources to our members, free workshops of every sort, and free, to help them better administrate their business and help them network. That we're a network to people that perhaps otherwise you would never meet, and which open doors and helps you expand your business. And a lot of the times is the people that are donating money or attending our events are business owners because they can afford it. And that's another reason why together we're stronger. That's a fact.
And it's awesome. And you've already donated lots of school supplies to different schools, which is great. I'm a member of several chambers, and I was excited to see a business organization who really has a strong focus of giving back to the community.
Yes.
And I joined, and I encourage all the people connected in business to join, because just like you said, we can all use the opportunity to connect with others. And it's great because I meet people every day, but still there's other people that I might never connect with.
That's right.
If it wasn't for a business alliance.
That's true. And it's exciting that every you see a lot of the same people, but it's that famous quote, nothing attracts a crowd better than a crowd. And we always get new people coming in. They're like, so what's all this, all the noise of it? We've done a few grand openings for local businesses.
I've attended a couple.
Yes, you did. It's a great opportunity for the business to have that exposure. See?
Definitely.
And that's something that we want for our local businesses.
And we want to celebrate local and small business because it's a struggle.
Yes,
it's expensive to open up a business, and especially as a small business owner, sometimes you feel very alone, and it's hard to get your business to start growing, to take off. And unfortunately, because of that, a lot of businesses within their first 1 to 5 years might close.
They go under. That's right. It's unfortunately, we've been blessed. Our business has been up for 28 years now. Next
That's
month.
awesome.
Yes. But that's because, we've worked our behinds off this.
And you care about people and you care
Yes.
about your customer.
We do. That's number one priority is our customer.
Which is awesome. So when did you form the Business Alliance and how many members do you have? And let's talk about contact information. How do they join? What does it cost? When are your mixers?
Perfect. So the San Joaquin County Business Alliance, I officially started it on January 7th of this year, 2019. I went to the Secretary of State, turned in my application. I got approved. By March 26th, I had already filed for a 501c3 under charity and education because that's what we do. We give scholarships to students to continue their post-secondary education, and we educate families and businesses. So that's this year. We're new, and we're not new faces, but we're new as an organization. But right away we caught on because people, like you said, they like what our mission is, and our vision, of course.
People want to make a difference.
They do.
And this gives them an opportunity, and it's a great opportunity.
It is. And I'm so happy that I count on a board of directors that were with me the whole way through. Really, there's nothing like having a great team behind you.
That's awesome. Did you want to give a shout out to
I
some
do.
of the people? Go ahead.
I'm the president. Marcela Krasiski is our vice president, which, like me, the whole way through, we're together, had meetings, and talked about, hey, we should do this. Yes, we should. Gia Cortez, our secretary. Angie Ibarra Rojas is our treasurer. And Farzin Yassini is one of the officers. We count on great sponsors like Univision, which also support us in our mission. Members, we got a lot of people that unfortunately don't like to pay their dues, which is not much. It's only $100.
Yeah, it's not
a year.
expensive. It's actually less expensive than many of the chamber memberships.
I think than all of them. And in order to become a member, you log in our website. It's at www.sjcbusinessalliance.org. You fill out the application. It gets sent to us, and you can pay via credit card or send a check, whatever is easier for you. So that's that.
And how often are the mixers, and where do you typically have them?
So the mixers, we originally thought of doing mixers every month at different locations for the same reason. You attract people to different local businesses, and it helps the business. I give them exposure. And we asked for a small donation to set up everything and bring in exposure, including live TV cameras, and like with Univision, they could come live. But now we agreed that will make us like every other organization. So
and once a month is hard. That
is.
becomes quite of a cycle to try and keep up with.
Yes, a cycle, and hard to find places that want to have mixers at their restaurants or businesses. And so now we're mixing it up. So it's mixer 1 month, workshop another, business workshop or family workshop, educational workshops for families whom we bring in specialized guest speakers to teach them, explain the importance of sending their children to college, preparing them, and then sending them to college, and where to find so many resources. There's so much money out there to apply for, which is grants. There's scholarships like the ones we provide every year, or we're still going to start providing every year. And the third month, we're doing community service, like the one we just did recently at the coastal cleanup, which, my golly, that was quite an experience.
I want to hear all about that. And to me, that's such an important event. And it was all over social media. It was all over the newspaper. And not just the importance of the cleanup itself and people coming together, but how much garbage was taken out of the water. Wow. And also shopping carts, things like that. So talk about that. How did you become involved with that, and how did you get a group of people together to participate?
So I called our good friend Christina Fugazi and asked her, where we can help as far as the city. She says, well, I'm gonna be at so and so place at her district
with her students.
Oh my God, her students are wonderful, whom also joined us at the lake at what is that, American Legion Park?
Okay.
And she said, why don't you go there? Because trust me, you're gonna be amazed of all the things that really fall into that water. I said, oh, perfect. When is it? She told me the date, the time, and I was there. She says, there's a lot of garbage. If you can bring people with you. Right away, I thought of good friends of mine and got a great group together.
Great.
Farzin Yassini and his crew of what is it? It's a solar company he works with. All the crew, they came along. Venture Academy, the students were there. I brought my two youngest kids so they could appreciate where we live, how we live, and so they could realize the reality of why it's so important to keep our city clean.
Take care of our community.
And put the garbage where it belongs.
Definitely. And that contamination, that garbage affects our water quality.
It does.
And there's been a lot of talk locally about E. coli in our water. And what I love is that so many people were participating in an event that's messy. Yes. I mean, we're not talking about something that was luxurious, like going to a fundraiser that's a tea. This was hard work, hard sweat equity.
Jesus, that was we found my daughter, my daughter Jasmine, 11 years old, and my son Max, 10 years old. They asked me, Daddy, why is there a king-size mattress in the lake that we pulled out? And why is there this couch, which we pulled out? There's empty gas tanks and syringes and
crazy stuff.
It just, well, I'm not going to get into details, but unfortunately, they don't belong there. But unfortunately, they're there. It's because of people that just careless people, right? You know what it is.
People dump garbage all over. It's a huge issue throughout not only our city but our county. Dumping of furniture and tires and things like that. And it's amazing that there was such a group effort. The sad part to me is that a month from now there'll be more garbage, and this is something that we could do routinely. Yes. The need is huge because there's garbage.
Huge. I totally agree with that, and if it was up to me, we would be doing it not once a year, but at least every 3 months. You know, really, that would very help us.
Well, and maybe we can organize that with the Business Alliance.
I totally agree with that.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
That to me would be great. And I love that not only was there the cleanup going on, but on that same day, at different places throughout the community, people were painting and working on other projects to make the community better.
Yes, it was a good day, to say the least, and it was after we stacked all the garbage up. Yes, we ended up dirty, muddy, smelly for sure, and
You weren't in your suit and tie, huh?
No. And Christina told me to not wear a suit and tie.
Everywhere I'm only teasing you because everywhere you go, you're wearing a suit and tie.
I get that a lot. I own 2 pairs of jeans, okay? And maybe 2 polos, and I gotta start shopping for more casual. And it's really, that's what it is. And so she teased me. She goes, "Please don't go in suit and tie." I'm like, and I thank you, Christina. Like, yeah, I thought about it, but no.
And what happened to the garbage once you collected it? Who picked it up? How did it get to where it needs to go?
Yeah, so the city organized somebody to come in, and a big garbage truck came, and 2 gentlemen were, along with my kids, loved doing that one, just throwing the garbage in the truck. And they picked it all up right away. We weren't even finished when they started picking the garbage up. So that was good. And they took it to the dump, I'm assuming.
Great.
And
to me, that's great that you brought your kids so that they can see the importance. And I love that there were students there. They're our future generation, and they need to be aware of what's going on in our community and how they can be a part of making it better.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Definitely. That's awesome.
Make them aware and see the consequences of not being, of being careless and not caring about your city. So something you gave me the best idea. Organize where every 3 months you obviously get permission from the city if we're able to do that, and if you get
find out a way, maybe Christina can connect you with how, depending on what location you're at, how that garbage could be taken away. That would be awesome. I think that would be amazing. I'd be on board to help with that.
Thank you so much.
And get more people. And to me, I love participating in boots on the ground effort where we're making a real difference.
Yes.
So that would be awesome. So what is your vision? Where would you like to see the Business Alliance be in 5 years? What's your ultimate goal for the Business Alliance?
Okay. In 5 years, I envision us to be one of the top resources for students, for education, where they could count on us the families could count on us to continue to educate them, the businesses could know where to go to when they need help, questions, professional help.
Wonderful. So no maybe cost. Some after-school tutoring also?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So this is what we want, and continue to help. Hopefully by then we have more money to give out for scholarships to qualifying students. By qualifying, I mean a minimum of 3.0 GPA, which is not very hard per se, and not excluding anybody. Available to all.
Wonderful.
That's something that one of the reasons why I left where I was, the nonprofit, because it wasn't available to all. And I just don't know. It's not me, and I can't participate in that.
Well, in our community, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are just slightly above or just slightly below the poverty line.
Yes.
And the need is huge, and education is such a magnificent tool for getting out of poverty and making a difference and being able to change your life, change your family's life.
Yes. I personally didn't go to college, yet I've always been an advocate for that, for education. Thankfully, both my younger brothers did. They went to University of Reno, Nevada, UNR. And I see the benefit of that, I was, lucky blessed that we have a family business. So otherwise, I would have had a regular 9 to 5 and probably be struggling like most people do because they didn't attend college.
If you don't have a unique skill set that's in demand and you don't have an education, then the majority of those people are working minimum wage jobs, which is not a living wage.
It isn't. And that's actually, now that you bring that up, SJCBA, the San Joaquin County Business Alliance, not only gives scholarships to students that are attending at UC, CSU, but trade schools as well.
Wonderful.
Which is something that, as far as I know, I haven't seen. That's what makes us different.
That's awesome.
Because trade schools are on demand.
Trade schools are in demand, and trade apprenticeships. Actually, I recently had on the studio people from our local trades unions, and it's phenomenal because they offer opportunities even without a degree from a trade school where you can learn on the job and be paid with them. And that's so important because not everyone is geared to be able to go to college.
No. It's true. Or can afford it.
And we need our trades. We need our trades to be able to grow our community.
We do. The mechanics, the certain nurses, the cosmetologists, that's a lot of the hot items that I know of. My wife went to a trade school. She's a makeup artist.
And people don't think of that as a trade. I'm glad that you brought that up.
And it is. It really is. It's something that you don't realize until you're doing it.
There's high demand.
Yes, there is. Well,
and I'm glad you mentioned the University of Reno, Nevada. And earlier you mentioned Venture Academy. Venture Academy has an awesome program where the students can get college credits online through that university, and it's awesome. It's really neat, so that when they graduate from high school, they already have a leg up.
Wow, that's amazing. That's good. So with that, there's so many things that we can do. It's the biggest problem we've run into is people that want to volunteer to help make changes, like the ones we're trying to make.
A lot of people don't know how to make a difference, but they want to, and that's what's great about your organization. Yes. It gives them a way to do it, and it's organized, which is awesome. Talk about why community matters so much to you and your personal plan to help in the community.
Well,
besides the Alliance.
Well, before I get into that,
okay,
I'm Hispanic, and unfortunately, from experience, dealing with Hispanics as my clients, my customers, they come from. It's not even ignorance. It's just the way they're brought up, where they don't believe in education. The older generation, obviously. My father, for example, he didn't have a plan for us to go to college. It was never in his, study because you're going to go to college. It was, after you graduate, you're going to be a businessman, your younger brother's going to be a mechanic, and your other brother's going to be an upholsteryman. So he was thinking how to form his business, whatever he does. So we're going to grow up to be like him. It's not like that no more. It's so what I've noticed when I ran into with customers is with people in general, Hispanics, is that how am I going to afford to pay for their college?
Mm-hmm.
I only make so much,
mm-hmm.
and to go to college it costs 3 times as much as I make. No, so they rather they figure out a way to avoid it, right? Not
That's sad. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's an interesting perspective that I haven't heard before. And the other comment I was going to make is that in the past, if you didn't have a college degree, you could still, with a minimum wage job, have a fair living if there was more than one person earning income in the household. And now that's really changed. The cost of living is so much higher. Housing is so much higher.
It is. One of the primary reasons why we as JCBA offers workshops to families in the community to educate them in the importance to prepare and send their kids to college is precisely because of what I just said. Because they don't know any better. You don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So if we help them understand and give them leads of where to find the funds
mm-hmm.
to help them with the cost
mm-hmm.
of university for the children, then it opens their eyes. Oh wow, yes. Then they're like, you have to go to college. Everything changed all of a sudden, and that's really.
It's just a different mindset.
Yes, different mindset, because they don't have to pay. Well, they're going to have to pay some. So that's one of the reasons. And going back to why it's so important for the community, me and the community, is I am actually running for city council now. I'm the candidate for this city council member for District 4. And
what area does that district cover?
It covers Highway 26, everything north of Harding Way, south of March, all the way down to Brookside and part of the Port of Stockton. So it's a pretty big area. Very diverse area.
I was going to comment on that, yes.
To say the least, from east to west.
Very, very diverse.
To northwest. And that's where I live, right, District 4. And I see there's so many things that we can do better. Obviously, like I said before, you can't do everything by yourself. It takes teamwork. It's something that, but if you're not out there talking to people and per se getting a personal survey, what would you like to see? If they feel like their voices are heard and matter, then there could be a little bit more there could be more interactive with us. Okay,
definitely.
Would you like to help us do this? It's gonna, you're gonna be able to accomplish your goals, what you want to see.
Definitely. And I love what you said, and I need to give a shout out to my fellow leadership Lodi classmate Taylor Deed, because she did a post and I took a picture of it and I shared it, and it shows a picture of a lawn at a park, and part of the lawn is brown, and it has a sign, don't complain unless you volunteered, or have you volunteered, something to that effect. And to me, we all have a role to play.
Yes.
And it's not just complaining. Yes, people complain every day, but it's more taking those words into action. What can I do to fix it and make it better?
Action speaks louder than words. Like, it's another.
So why you? What do you think that you can bring to city council that's lacking, and how will you make it better?
So, if I'm honored to be elected, there's three primary goals that I have starting off. The first one is our homeless issue, because we do have an issue with that.
We have a major issue.
Yes, we do. Along the neighborhoods, businesses, which is very unfortunate, because I feel like we could do more for even them. A lot of these people are suffering from mental issues more than drug problems.
Mm-hmm.
We need to figure out a way of how to attend to that. My plan is meeting with different mayors from different cities, like Modesto. They have a program going right now, a program where they have this park where all the homeless are.
Mm-hmm. They have their tent city, and they're actually purchasing a building to be used to provide housing as well.
And that, it's never going to be perfect, because nothing is perfect.
And can you share with us some of your strategy? Because you potentially will be running against an incumbent, and I can tell you from experience that it's not easy. What strategy do you have?
Well, first is, here in the city of Stockton, there's already things in place. Support them. There's
Are you talking about shelters?
The shelters and I forget the name of that.
We have our Continuum of Care, which is our group of organizations throughout the county that come together to work on homelessness. But we have Stockton Shelter for the Homeless. Jolynn has been on here before. Gospel Center Rescue Mission. They're an amazing organization, and Wayne Richardson is actually scheduled to be on here soon and has been on here before. So we're fortunate that we do have organizations that are boots on the ground
Nancy
trying
Lamb.
to make a difference. What's sad to me is it was just in the paper that Stockton Shelter for the Homeless, despite the fact that they are so pivotal, they're having a hard time with funding. Donations are down for them right now, significantly down.
I've seen that. Yeah, significantly down. It's a problem.
It's a huge problem, especially when they're on the front line and we need what they're doing so badly.
The gospel mission,
Mm-hmm.
that is, I personally, I think that's one of the better programs out there. And I wanna. Oh, we talked about this. I wanna go there and really meet with the organizers and see how we can help as a business alliance.
Wonderful.
We don't know maybe there is something we can do. Perhaps raise funds for them. I don't know, something. But that's something
that would be awesome.
I want to.
And just like you gave school supplies out to certain schools, that's something they need. The face of homelessness is definitely changing, and people think about the man on the street who might have a drug issue, but there's families that are struggling every day, and they lose housing, and the cost of housing is so expensive. And right now we have such a lack of affordable housing in our city. There's only 2% of housing available or less on any given day. And basically, landlords can cherry pick who they want to have
they can.
at their apartments or houses. And the struggle is real. And actually, some of the organizations, such as Home Builders, Carol Ornelas, and others are coming together to build housing that's specific for low income, so that when people graduate through programs like Gospel Center Rescue Mission or Stockton Shelter for the Homeless, there's housing available for them to move into.
And that's off of Minor Avenue. It's going to be a wonderful project. That can't wait till they break ground and get that going.
Yes.
Nancy Lamb and Stockton Cares.
Yes, 209 Cares.
209 Cares. Yes, she's another advocate for this homeless issues. They're out there cleaning the streets. They're actually cleaning up their own mess and getting, in a way, rewarded.
Employing some of the homeless to do it, which to me, I think that's really important. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because it helps people to feel better about themselves. And when Jolynn was here, we were talking about people's self-image and how a negative self-image can lead to destructive behavior. And it's so important, if people can work and do positive things, it changes everything.
It does. I personally employed a homeless for 5 years straight. Wayne Moore, who was his name. We became just as this man. That's what made me change my perspective with homeless, because he rode a bike. He was never late to work, and never late to go to the shelter, because after a certain time, I think it was 7 p.m., they won't let people in. And there's times that we had so much work that he was my handyman. He was at a business. He was my lot boy. He did everything. And 5 years straight, he was happy. He didn't have to be on the street asking for money or doing, bad things. He is very a good man. I would take him home and he eat dinner with us at our table. The first time I took him home, my wife's like looking at me crazy, like, I'm not gonna say the word, but he goes, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, "No." Hey Wayne, the bathroom's there. You want to wash your hands? He goes, "Oh my God!" But he was even shocked that I took him home. And when he sat at the table, he didn't know what to do. Like, Wayne, it's getting cold. He goes, "Oh my God!" He started, and he got used to it. He was a good man, and he stopped working for me after I had a major accident, which a motorcycle accident, brain surgery, resulted in me being out for about 3 years. He went back to his shelter, and today he works for the shelter.
Awesome.
Go figure,
Awesome.
I'm like, well, I'm so happy for him, but you're right. So employing these homeless can make a big difference too. We can make use of them.
Yeah, no, that's a win-win. And Caltrans started a program employing homeless, and I'd like to see that expand as well. I think currently it's just employing people that were recently incarcerated, but I'd like to see it expanding to the homeless on our streets, and because that's also going to help in terms of keeping things clean as well. Yes. So what other issues are you concerned about? We talked about education. We talked about homeless.
Issue number 2 is safety within our neighborhoods and our businesses too. Our business is located downtown, and it's after a certain time it gets really not very safe per se. Mm-hmm. We need I know we don't lack policemen, but there's so much. The city's so big now, overpopulated that
we do lack them for the ratio of our population.
Yes, yeah.
I'm glad that we have more, but we could always use more.
Use more, yes.
Because they're not just all policing. Yeah. They have court things to go to and other duties that they serve. Yeah, we can use more eyes and ears on the street.
We can.
And more neighborhood watches.
More neighborhood watches. That's exactly what we need. And there's this new, they're putting up new cameras, right? All over the city. Mm-hmm. That's going to be able to track you down. Mm-hmm. But we're going to need
Big Brother.
Big Brother.
I'm laughing because in the George Orwell book, it talked about Big Brother watching you. But, I mean, and it was in a negative way. But to me, there's value in that because it's a resource to protect each other.
Yes. Or
if a crime is committed, to be able to follow that person and catch them or see that violence is happening.
Yes. And but we also need somebody to be where all the monitors are monitoring. If we don't have somebody there, then it's there's no point.
Yes.
I was speaking to an officer that he said, what good to do is if there's nobody going to be in there, in the station looking at.
Maybe we could get volunteers to monitor that.
Yes, that's something that's another big concern of mine that we need to work with. Not just should I be elected on my own district, but along with my fellow city council members and our mayor. It's going to take all of us to really make a big impact on this issue, and it's possible. I know it is, because people want to be safe. Okay, so they're going to do what they can to do whatever is necessary to keep each other safe. Neighborhood watch programs is one of the biggest, more common strategies they use. Another thing is
I wish there was a way that people would be more willing to speak up when they see something, because there's definitely a fear that if they say I saw this, that there's gonna be retaliation.
Yes, and that goes as the same for people littering. If you see someone littering, report them. If you see somebody throwing tires inside the water, call the police or whomever it's going to be and let them know. Write some license plate number down, because that's the reason we're so polluted. And you're right, people are scared. Like, wait a minute. As a matter of fact, just 2 days ago, I was driving down D Street by Fremont, and there was a car that was literally crossed, like nobody could pass it. And I asked him, whose car is that? He goes, I don't know. And I thought to myself, I could call BG and Son, and they'll take it in a snap. But if I do that, they're going to know that it was me, right? And I don't need that problem, because they know where I live. I hope somebody else that comes, or a policeman drives by and just, hey, what is your car crossing both lanes? So as for when you're right, there is a little fear.
There's definitely a strong fear about people not speaking up. I do want to give a shout out to Crime Stoppers, because Crime Stoppers does give you a way to anonymously give a tip if you have information. And there's sometimes a financial reward for doing that, depending on the situation. And they have actually rehomed people who needed protection
really. Crime Stoppers.
So that's a valuable community resource. Is there anything else as we're wrapping up that you'd like to add that we haven't covered?
Another thing that I want to see happen is provide resources. Offer and provide free resources for our kids, K to 12, to be able to be successful in school.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
More libraries or tutoring, like you said. If they lack financial, they need paper, pencils, or whatever it may be. Provide that, and we'll have more books. That's something that we need to really concentrate our youth.
Definitely,
they are the future.
They're our future, and it's in the long run. The more that we help them on the front end, the fewer problems we're going to have on the back end. And it's more expensive to deal with it at the back end.
It is. Educated kids are going to be better off, one, and so is our city. It's just, I can't express that enough. I look at my two younger brothers. They're different. They speak different. Because they're, and only one of them actually does what they studied. Yet, all the knowledge they gained are going to remain for them forever.
Knowledge is always useful. You're never going to lose by having a degree or learning more, having a bigger perspective. It only helps you with formulating ideas and solutions and things like that.
Yes. So those are the three main items that I would concentrate in.
Do you have a website or a Facebook page that people can go to?
My Facebook, Max Beas, Maxbeas. That's my Facebook. My website is Vote for Max, but it's in construction. I want to have it right.
All right.
It's and for the Business Alliances, I mentioned it as www.sjcbusinessalliance.org.
And I just want to remind everyone before we close that anyone that's running for office is welcome to contact the studio. We're always happy to interview you and talk about your perspective on issues going on in the community and how you would make a difference. So please, anyone that's running, please don't hesitate to contact the Voice of San Joaquin.
Wonderful.
And anything that you'd like to add in closing?
Well, let's work together. One, stop littering. Two, and think about our kids. Really, I'm also the president for the PTA for my kids' school because of the same reason.
You need to be involved.
Parents need to be involved. If they aren't present in those most important, it's amazing the impact. I treat the rest of these kids like if they're on my own. And I literally do. I probably shouldn't, but I do anyway. And so teachers need help. So being present in class, volunteering, was going to be a major impact too. They don't get paid enough to be doing all they do. And so I noticed that a lot of these kids lack attention, unfortunately. And when you give it to them, it's like it brightens their day.
They blossom.
They blossom. A little girl told me at my son's classroom, Mr. Beas, do I look pretty in this? Is the class pictures? Do you look? She was not sure. I'm like, oh my goodness, you're so photogenic. Oh my God, is this really you? She goes, you look beautiful, honey. Oh my God. Then she goes showing off to everybody. That she kind of like, I hope she says yes. And same thing with other kids. It's just they need the attention. Let's be present. The support. Let's support them.
And they need to feel good.
They need to feel good. Yes.
We need to help them feel good and let them believe that they can be successful.
Yes. Most definitely. And yes, you'll probably be hearing from me moving forward and in regards to my campaign. And if you're interested in making a difference for our students, our local students in San Joaquin County, go on our website or email us at SJC Business Alliance. No, info at SJC Business Alliance. Email me any questions, and if you want to schedule where we're meeting, and I could provide that to you. If you want to become a member, like I said, it's only $100 a year. So hopefully you become members, or at least attend our functions, our fundraisers.
And we can make a difference together.
Together. That's the word, together.
Awesome.
We're stronger. And I think with that, I thank you, Dr. Julie. I appreciate you inviting me, and
thank you for being here. And thank you for all you're doing to help make the community a better place.
Yes, yes.
We need more people doing that, and I love that you said earlier that we can do this together.
We can. Okay, just last thing. Shout out to my board, because without you guys, I couldn't do everything. Oh, we wouldn't be able to do everything we do. It takes a lot of us. It's so much work. We need more help, more members. I just shout out to my board.
Awesome.
Love you all.
All right. Well, thank you again for being here. And with that, I'm going to sign off. I am the voice of San Joaquin. You are the voice of